Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to Wrevample. I'm your host, Mr. Ghost Bunch, and so I understand that we all have a different definition, a different version of what is normal, and what that word means to me is very personal for two reasons. One, I have very high standards when it comes to our level of communication. Not high in a strict sense, like I'm not going to rip your brain out and cast it into the abyss if your level of communication skills are weak. And it really is hard to find people you enjoy talking to on a regular basis, someone you can update and share your experience with. It is not exactly commonplace. And what I hear people talking about is not exactly focused on what they need to be focused on. And it completely strikes the wrong chord when they do talk. This might seem like the proof I need to believe that we come from different dimensions. But we have to ask ourselves first, what gives a person dimension? And if we are living in a 3D world, then why are people using such strong fronts that their insides are literally just flipped out for the whole world to see? I mean, we come from society where people are using such strong fronts, and I don't know what to call it, but from afar it looks like people are so obsessed with social normalcy that they are ashamed or afraid of to their discussive business. And I haven't been abused by the social standard to understand how it feels to be rejected by society, but either way, the facsimile here is that we are facing, it's just a question of how conformed our society really is. The definition of normal in my mind, you will just, to see it, just how unnatural the term can be. So at a young age, I was very young, I developed a communication. So to all those who are paying attention, I did develop a communication problem, and really what I became was something of an idealist. I completely devoted myself to developing a stronger sense of association. I really do believe my level of association is so high that I will be in the top tier. My level of communication has existed in a state of form of what I would call prisonhood, which I know sounds silly because I am not a convict or even a felon of any kind, especially not just for being an idealist, but I do say I existed, or my mind existed, in this state of a prisonhood because at one point I was literally not thinking. And what I gather about jail is that a lot of people there are not thinking either. So to be blunt, I really was capable of doing bad things, like some goddamn primitive human being who could only use his skill of post-traumatic stress to communicate with the rest of the world. And here is what scares me. I literally just made a full recovery mentally from smoking too much drugs. And I had to try all sorts of remedies to adjust physically, and in the end, it was down to a peace pipe that gave me the mental condition I desired. I suppose what I consider decent conversation is probably a lot less normal here in this plane of existence. This plane of existence. So what terrified me about the drugs was when I realized that I was losing my ability to communicate well with other humans, and it was reflected in my writing. I realized that, and so I began to focus my horizons on the ethical aspects of my writing and not so much the moral aspects of my writing. And I have a few more spirits that I raised because of it. So I feel like I owe my recovery quite a bit due to the 4-year-old version of myself. Not so much the latterhood, but he gets credit, I guess, too. They don't teach idealism in school, which I think is sick, but I want to share my mantra with you that I've used for a long time now, and that is this is what my mantra is. It is not about that. It is not about that. I use it when I am paranoid. I use it when I face a difficult impulse or regarding a high level of discernment. It is not about that. When you recognize the conformity and you see a light in the reflection of being different and unique. Transformative idealism suggests that Much of our culture is obsessive and has nothing to do with living.
Wasted souls, sour escapes and gold. Flickers made by burning hold. Don't look away. Don't look away. There should be dragons when it's cold below 80. There should be dragons when it's cold below 80. Where are you? Where are you?